Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather wrong, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand strong. Benskop upon the radio, lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and on the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already, we have to boom it up again. Expose and reveal him. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family.
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
Yeah, this is the elite team.
The root team.
Strong team.
Number one.
PPP team.
Yeah.
You understand? PPP all the way.
Yeah, one Guyana.
Yes.
Who in the fort for Monday
Yeah.
morning?
In any weather, rain, sun,
We are
in the
here.
night. We there right here. We ain't going nowhere. We holding it for PPP.
Yeah.
Right. And
PPP
everybody
all the
know.
way.
Yeah, we definitely strong ship.
Crazy stuff.
Yes. Yeah. PPP all the way.
All the way.
Yes.
Big us up.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Jasmine Caldata Francis Wakenham, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cop, and what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
And you're confident that you're going to deliver credible and fair elections?
Of course. Only one way I know, and that is the correct way.
Right across or Granger or Nagamutu come here after the 21st of March, you say to them, walk behind them, chase them out, they're going to be illegal. Say to them, you're illegal. Free up the country, you're undemocratic. They're going to face a different situation right across.
Well, he has faced a different situation. He has gotten a dose of his own medicine. They got chased out. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. 12 minutes after 9 o'clock. My name is Mark Benchop. Let's get ready to rock and roll. I can't promise you guys to be on for almost 7 hours. 7 hours, 6+ hours. You guys are unreasonable at times, but good morning. It's all good. It's all for a good deed. And thank you so much. People have been waking me up early o'clock to ask me, what time am I coming on? What time am I coming on? Anyways, I am on. Good morning to all of you, beautiful people. I know that on this live, they have very few trench crappos. The trench crappos, if they come on this live to say anything, they gotta be brave, man. We know a lot of them don't really use their heads, right? But they got to be brave. They got to be brave. How about I can sit here and stare at you guys all day because of this victory, because of how important this victory is. Now, Jack Dale and all of them going to want to come out. They're going to want to say, oh, it's a low voter stuff. Whether it's low or not, the PPP got blow. The people took the money and say they got to go. Jano, right? Hey, now, these folks in the PPP had no proper message. They went to the people of Linden, they got on stage, they feel they could disrespect the people, and they basically say all they talk about when they went to Linden is who get in blow. That's all the message they took to Linden, who get in blow, and got a couple of people in the audience, skin in the teeth, who get in blow. Then when they finished with their message in Linden, they went to New Amsterdam, and guess what? They went from blow and they got to New Amsterdam to start talking about wood. Well, the people in New Amsterdam give them wood. The people in Linden give them blow. That is the level. That is the level of discussion in terms of campaigning and what they can do for the people. They have nothing. They offer the people of Linden nothing other than took a message about blow. First of all, they had a man, as soon as they got installed, by the name of some small, went there and told the nurses that the nurses going out, they're clocking in, they don't go to work, they're going over by the sweet man and give blow. Is that all the PPP could talk about? Is that all our young people want to hear? Is that all old people want to hear? Is that all middle-aged people want to hear? Gosh. Went to New Amsterdam, all Jack Dale and Irfan could talk about is what they like. That's all they could talk about. Wood. Whether it's Wallaba, whether it's Cruda, I don't know, but that's all they talk about. But look, in 2023, you expect to carry that message and fool people, divert people's attention? It is not going to work. It is just not going to work. Oh, Father. Good morning. Good morning to all of you guys. I know you guys are happy. You should be happy. Jack Dale and his crew are not happy. I repeat, Jack Dale and his crew are not happy. They're not happy at all. They're just not happy. They couldn't be happy because of the hundreds of millions of dollars they have spent. Hundreds of millions of dollars they have spent on their sweet woman voters, so to speak. All of them in their category. Sweet woman, the Barbaras. And then in Linden, they had some flat-foot hustlers who try a thing, but didn't get through. You think Jack Dale and Irfan are comfortable now? You think the PPP is comfortable now? After spending hundreds of millions of taxpayers' monies and to be given blow. They have been demolished. They are embarrassed to even force. Look at what happened with Jack Dale last night. Jack Dale rushed off. Have you seen, when was the last time you guys saw Jack Dale rushed away after a press conference? He couldn't take it. Licks like peas. And on top of that, they're talking about recount. Recount of what? What sort of recount? Where and when? They are, look, these folks are embarrassed. Y'all think they don't get shame? They have shame. Don't think that they don't have shame. Jack Dale was embarrassed. Look. Well, look, I don't even know what else to say. Coffee cup. Not broke up cup. Coffee cup. It's going to be a long day. I intend to stay with you guys from now until 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. You guys know that's a joke, right? So we're getting, good morning to all of you guys. We're getting the information coming in. Nothing has really changed other than the PPP has got some serious lash on the head, upside down, all manner of things. Look, right now, let's take our camera crew all the way to Corriverton. Let's find out what's happening there in Corriverton. I heard the Galix there as well. Oops, there we go. Councillor Anil Sugrim, you're still a councillor. The people wanted you to be the mayor of Corriverton. Are you back there as a councillor because the people have that confidence in you and your other partner? Tell us what happened there in Corriverton.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mark. I know the opposition would have felt relief today, knowing that we were booed and laughed at that we didn't get money, but them one was spent and squandered the money, had people voting for them on the basis of race, and yet they're suffering because some of them must get a slice of bread this morning feet. But they vote on race, squander money, been in rain, tying up flag, putting up flag, running all about the place. But the vote, like I predicted, the turnout in Corriverton was very poor. We would have maintained our 2 seats. Corriverton has been, like I said, has been run and operated by the PPP since they took office. They have been begging for a chance to govern Corriverton with billboards putting up, cost millions of dollars. And the chance that they were begging for is to make sure that I don't get back on the council, because they don't want us even to have 1 seat in this part of the country. But by the help of God and electorates that supported us, we were able to maintain our 2 seats in Corriverton. But outside of that, they were, running around all day. We were calm, cool, and collective. They were running around all day, trying to bribe people. You had something you call proxy vote. I don't know. Somebody need to really explain the definition of the word proxy for them, because their proxy vote have a heist people from wheelchair and carry them up a step. Their proxy vote have a put people on them back and fetch them up a step. Them proxy vote have a roll people, fetch people from them back, like if you carry them a hospital upstairs for medical treatment, for proxy vote. And so somebody need to explain that word to them so that they can understand when proxy time comes what they should do. Punishing those old people that get pain and all of that, to vote. But they've been running around. They've been running around all day, pulling in people to vote. But the turnout was very poor. Very poor. And so with that, yes, with that in mind, they still lose. They still lose. Because if they would have got the people to come out that they expect, well, then they could have knocked me out to the 2 seat.
Absolutely. But we're glad that you're back there. The people, right away, we have a trench crappo. Thank you, Lemon, for bringing this to my attention. Hear what this trench crappo is saying. And this trench crappo is, you see the trench crappo. They can't spell Ben, K, C, whatever. You know what that means, right? Same to you. Many happy return. Carry your KC Soto, right? Or KS and your MS, whatever those things. MS could be master of master of whatever. MC is master of ceremony. But hear what this idiot early morning, this Karen Crow coming around saying. You're an idiot, bench cap. You're an idiot. The people over 60% of the votes. Now, look at the reasoning of these Nimakaram. If, look, 261 areas the coalition didn't contest. But yet this little Nimakaram is talking about 60%. 60%. What if the coalition had contested those 261 areas that they did not contest? Oh, man. Early morning cockroaches. Early morning cockroaches. So, Anil, you're back there as councillor. It proves that the people respect and appreciate your work. Congratulations to you, sir.
But sometimes we got to change some of the approach and method, Mark. And I plan to get some numbers of some of these people that were elected by the PPP people for the PPP that is run to me. Sometimes I gotta get a number. So when they call me, I'm gonna say wrong number. So I gotta give them a number to call the man that they vote for. People must understand, that sometimes when they believe that you don't know who they vote for, because the logistics and the documents and so on that you deal with give you a breakdown and give you a sense of humor of what really take place. Early morning, man, say, we vote for you, and that was a cockroach because I don't even vote for you. But right away, one just called me and said, well, Anil, I just get a little problem with my trench, and it's only you, but that one trench crap too. But what you get problem? If you get problem with the trench and your trench crap, you stay in the trench. You understand? If you're trench crap and you get problems, stay in the trench. Because I am not going to bail nobody out of a trench when there's a trench crap, or you gotta go for a trench crap to help pull you out of the trench. Because sometimes we gotta strategize differently, because you can't only take using from people for their personal benefits and gain, but for them to support you legally to represent them, they bypass you. For them to support legally that you can get more leverage in representing them for their cause, they don't want that. And that is the kind of thing that JR and Caesar would understand too, that happen in most parts of the up quarantine, is that, it is the most time it is the East Indian, and that's what the PPP did when, Norton took over as leader of the party. That's what it did. Trying to sell this racist kind of thing to the people so that they would turn their mind on him. But look, I would say that the leader did well in his support. He supported us, and I tell you, he was calling in. He took the time to be calling in morning, midday, and afternoon to know what is going in, what the kind of support you need, what's happening, and all of that. And congratulations and thanks to the leader for having that care and concern, knowing the fight and the battle that we were encountering in this area. Because
go ahead, continue. I was going to say the fight and the battle wasn't easy, but continue, sir.
Yes, it wasn't easy. This morning you feel like to get up. I remember last night, GCOM called me and said, agent, Mr. Supreme, you got one agent is trying to give me a hard time because she refused to sign the SOP. I said the agent does not give you a hard time because I would have give you a harder time. She is there on the ground and she is satisfied, and I am satisfied that she is satisfied with the decision that she is taking. And if she is saying that the X crosses the box, and she, to her observation and opinion, it's a spoiled vote, and she rejected it, and you're trying to force it down her throat, and at the end of the count, she said she's not going to sign the statement of poll, What should I do about that? I am satisfied that she was satisfied with what she did.
Absolutely.
And I am proud of her. And she said, you know, it's on you. I said, well, it's all on me all the time because it's one man, I said, disrupting the whole town. So I already with that. I'm satisfied with it.
And congratulations again. Let's just welcome, thank you so much, Anil. Let's just welcome Wayne Caesar and J.R. Crawford. I don't know how they were able to wake up this morning, but they're up. I bet they probably just got up. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning, Mark. Good morning to our listeners and viewers.
Before we get down to this here, let me just address this person quickly. And we've got to move away from this mindset. Somebody saying, let's be honest, Norton should not be the presidential candidate for 2025. I'm not here to discuss that at this point in time. I'm just not here to discuss that. However, what I have a disagreement with is I think the person is saying, I think someone else should lead, someone of a mixed background or even Indian ancestry. We've got to move away from this sort of mindset. It doesn't matter who the presidential candidate is, whether they are of East Indian descent, African, whether they are a short man, a tall man, a woman of indigenous ancestry. It doesn't matter as long as you have someone with of quality that you can promote and that can do good for the country. End of story. End of story. So we got to stop with this thing. You got to put an Indian man on top, or else we're not going to get anywhere. It's just not selling. Stop with this nonsense, guys. That's just my opinion. Let's bring Crawford and Caesar in. Good morning again, gentlemen.
Morning, Mark.
Yeah, so Jack Dave now is hollering and begging for recount. You want recount? You want recount? I have never seen Pastor and JR and Caesar and all others. Take a look at Barra Jack Dave, how he ran away last evening from a press conference. His body language, his facial expression, he just couldn't take it. The pressure was too much. The people voted, and it's a message to the PPPC that the people have had enough. This is how he operated. Let's take a quick look at that.
These areas, first of all, so by tomorrow we should get a clear picture from them what's happening. But right now, tonight, we're dealing with the statements of poll. As I said to you before, a lot of these had to come in by WhatsApp, and like in some of the riverine areas, people had to call in the vote. The numbers, Madhya, they had to call in. So I want to wait until tomorrow. I actually did not want to do this tonight. I wanted to wait until tomorrow, but I know the country is awaiting to hear from us too. Having heard all these lies from APNU, many people might get a bit excited and stuff like that. And we didn't want them to continue to mislead people. There are a couple of areas that we are looking at where we believe that may warrant a recount, because we believe that the SOP was made in error and it didn't reflect.
Now, we gone to this nonsense here. The SOPs were made in error. The SOPs were made in error. Crawford, take a bite of that. I wanted Councillor Sugrim to take a first bite, but let's go to Crawford first.
What you're seeing is a guy who has been embarrassed by his actions, a guy who is desperate, and it's a power drunk person. These things had to be verified before they were placed at the polling stations. Jagdeo is embarrassed that he has spent millions of dollars buying his way through the communities. It backfired. He's actually angry at the people that they were paying off these monies to, and they did not go through on their promises. But more so, he's much more angry at the PPP supporters for not coming out. And this goes to show you that the people were upset at the behavior of the party for what they're doing and how they behave across the board. And by staying away from the polls, the PPP supporters actually voted for the PNC. And that is a big slap in his face. And it goes to tell you, if you don't do good, eventually you're going to get caught. And that is what happens to him. What happened to him last night.
Certainly, he got caught indeed. Thank you so much, J.R. Crawford. Quick bite from Mr. Caesar. Your take on Jack Day now complaining about SOPs and recom. He's not taking his licks like a, however you put it, but he's just not taking his licks. Your take, sir.
Yeah, well, my take, Mark, is that there should be absolutely no recount. As I would have said before, you would need to take that to court. However, which way he chooses to do it, that's totally on him. But there should be absolutely no recount. But I noticed when Jack Dio is talking about the PPPs, kind of including GCOM in it and saying we. You know, GCOM is supposed to be an autonomous, independent body. So GCOM cannot be we with the PPP. It's a separate body, and they should not be adhering to anything that Barra Jagdeo has to say. Like I would have said last night, he does not control the narrative. If the decision need to be made that the APNU plus AFC, the APNU, sorry, would have won the local government elections, it needs to come from GCOM. We don't have to wait on Jagdeo for anything.
Absolutely.
And they need to go, and Mark, they need to go ahead and make this decision ASAP. Come on, what are we waiting on?
I agree with you. It should not be about what Jack Dale says. He doesn't run GCOM. GCOM understands that elections are over. The APNU has won in those areas. Linden, Georgetown, Madja, Bartica, New Amsterdam, etc. They have won. Now let's head back to Anil. Anil, what is it exactly Jack Dave is asking for about SOPs were done in error? Who was saying that it was done in error? Explain that to us, please, sir.
You know, when he's saying that, you know, I kind of figure that he's saying that the thing was wrongly printed. You know, that is what I'm figuring. Because what else would have done in error? Is he saying that the SOPs were wrongly designed and printed before it was shown out there? What is he saying? Is he saying that his agents that were counting didn't know how to count? That you want to recount? They didn't know how to count? Or were he saying that his agents, they are, you know, incapable of operating as agents, counting the day that the SOP, the vote was counted and the SOP was tabulated and recorded? You know, look, I happen to be, you know, in all the pots around here. And, you know, when we open the container, when the container open, PPP got 8, 9 people there. It's 8, 9 of them up on phone, long distance call. Get up on the phone. When they're done with the phone call, then they proceed with what they got to do. By the time that thing one, them stop again, they go up on the call again. You know, these police officers sort of just watch me around one. They have to say, Mr. Sugrim, what's going on? Like, I can't know what's going on. It's everything. I am telling people that I am with a party that is transparent and know what democracy is. And I am with a party that trusts the people that is on the ground, trust their judgment, and trust the decision that they're taking on the ground for the operation that is taking place. I know that I am a part of a party. I am not a part of a party that every single man has to report to Jagdeo. I am not a part of a party that every single body got to call somebody above them so that they can make a decision. I am a part of a party that makes decision on the ground that I think is the best interest for the party and for the people that would benefit. And so I don't know what he's saying about the SOP. You know, when we opened the container 3 o'clock yesterday morning, by accident, I observed, I know for sure, one of the ballot boxes were broken by sight. It was broken by sight. And Jacob suggests that we should duct tape the ballot box. And the box that you supposed to be going to is 5263 NDC, and said, listen, let me duct tape the ballot box and send it over to 5263 so that polls can open on time. And so, you know, I see they jump up, they go up on the phone, they make some call, and they say yes. I said, well, the box can move when we get a brand new box. The box can move when we get a brand new box. When we get brand new seal, when we can change the box, when we can change the contents and things, that's why they can move. How long that can happen? Me concerned if poll open earlier, poll open later, you open midday, you open next day. I am saying that the thing is, we should get extra box and so on, catering, everything fall up on the shelf and break, that we should get it. GCOM should be better prepared to get that managed. Anyhow, the DCO called me and said, man, if I am not in agreement, you can call the chief. I said, man, you call the chief. I am on the ground here. I make this on the ground here. The chief will make no decision for me. I am saying that the box gotta get a new box, and that is it. And I am satisfied with that. And so what I'm saying, I don't know when they're saying that they want to recount and they want to recheck and the SOPs, you know, something wrong with it. So you're telling me they print different SOP for different areas. I kind of try to assess and evaluate exactly what I'm trying to say, you know. Whatever they want use different SOP with different figures in different areas to satisfy themselves. But I'm sure you will not say in Curveton that the SOP wasn't proper. I'm sure that you will not say in Curveton that you want to recount. You know, they have choices of places that they want not to be embarrassed over. They use state resources, high-end state vehicle, campaigning, more vehicle and people at some of these meetings. You want to know what's going on when you see them vehicle list. You know, I said that man is own a gas station because like, apparently they own part of Exxon. So they could get free gas. So if you see them vehicle, and some of them vehicle like why Exxon must import duty free to and give them for use. And so them jobs use a lot of vehicles, you know, more than people. You want a recount? No recount. I can't see that we accepting at this time any recount for anything. Any recount I am talking about now is that we count the oil money and we get some on it. That is the count I'm talking about. We counting the ballot. The ballot done. Count the oil money. Count all the oil money that I just stay away from to declare some of them things at the Public Accounts Committee. Let we know what I'm doing. We talking about this done. When we win, we hold on to. We hold on to. You're gonna use the money that and feed them poor school children and I share and red t-shirt. You're gonna use the money and pay old age pensioner. Donate PPP money to the government and pay if you don't get money, pay old age pensioner. You're gonna use the money and buy more school bus and carry children to school. You're gonna use the money and make sure places like in Little Africa get free internet. Then I even get phone line. Get free internet access. Places like India get free internet access. That's what they should use the money for. Let them run around all about the place and pampersetting themselves and say you want to recount. No recount. I can't see we accepting any recount at this time. None at all. Like carry SOP, carry them a state house, and let them check them over and over and over. Check them and go wrong, and check it again, and check it again, and then check it in circles. Then them guys, they check it.
Well said. Well said.
Indeed.
Glad we were able to touch base with Adil Supreme, who has won his seat in Corriverton. There are 2 seats. This time around, I know you mean business. Let's get to Crawford and Caesar. Add a little bit there too, guys. No recount. Let me just say quickly, guys, that the recount process has the decision, the final decision has to do with GCOM. They have to make that final decision. And so hopefully they're not going to make that decision. It's done with. If Jagdale has a problem and Irfan, they have a problem with the results, let them take it to court for a petition. Let them show their SOPs. Show y'all SOPs, Jagdale. Mr. Crawford.
Mark, I don't think we need a recount because the turnout was so low. They couldn't have made a mistake unless they're incompetent. That is a ploy by Jagdeo to interfere with the outcome at specific location. He's embarrassed. He wants to buy New Amsterdam, at least because he he talked big that he was going to deliver all the towns to the PPP, and they're ashamed. And if we see GCOM buckling to this, there have to be consequences against the chairperson of GCOM. They should not be doing this. They're wasting taxpayers' dollars. We need to focus on other important aspects of our society, services and goods. Jack Deere is playing politics with the people's monies and lives. We need to put a stop to it. This is a statement that the people has made that embarrassed the PPP, and it's also showing that the people are looking for unity, and PPP, they're trying to create that wall as much as they can, and eventually, like I said, there might have been a divine intervention as to why the people did not go out there. With all the monies that were sharing out, people decided not to go there because they don't want to be a part of a sinking ship. And Jack Deere must be dealt a serious blow to this. He has to understand that times have changed. People are getting educated from different sources, and you cannot continue to manipulate the people's mind. A lot of these people are traveling now to the United States on visa. They're getting to see things from a different angle, and eventually the PPP will become a small price party because of their behavior and the people who they have in leadership position.
Agreed, totally agree, JR. Again, I stand with Pastor Sugrim, Pastor / Counselor Sugrim, and yourself that there should be absolutely no recount. I think I've taken that position since last night, that there should be absolutely no recount. And let me educate the PPPC, because they have this feeling of when you throw money around and you feel like if you have this wealth and everything, listen, it's not about wealth, because the three men that are on the screen right now is more wealthier than all of you guys put together. Why are we more wealthier than you guys? Because wealth, I feel, it comes in good deeds. And that's why we're here. We are here for the people. That's why I'm on this platform, for the people. So the PPP needs to understand they don't have the people's interests at heart. And listen, it's too late. It's too late. No changes right now. And with Barajagdio, and let me be clear here. Based on the sample size of the electorate that we had that would have voted yesterday, GCOM already have the numbers ready. They have the decisions ready. Everything is ready. It is Barajagdio who is holding up this whole process. And Claudette Singh better be careful. She better be careful and be forthcoming with the correct decision here.
And exactly, the better be careful aspect and part is that to do the right thing. She has to do the right thing.
Correct.
Be careful and not to be allowed to be bullied and controlled by an idiot like Jack Deere. Jack Deere is running mad right now. Let's get straight back to that tape with him, show the people how mad he's running before we head back to Counselor Sugrim.
The tally sheet. So the only way you can actually fix that now is by getting a recount of the few of those boxes. One is in New Amsterdam.
Voter turnout overall?
It was, as in 2018, low. A low voter turnout. It probably will range between 30 to 40%, somewhere around that level. Thank you very much.
Mr. Sugrim, what happened there, man? Have you ever seen this guy like this at a press conference? Close off a press conference after 20 minutes. That's it. He's rushing out. He's talking about a recount in New Amsterdam. Just a few boxes. They're hoping that they're going to stop those just a few boxes. Let us take it back to you, Anil. Your take again on what you just heard there from this guy.
You know, it's a total embarrassment. I was in New Amsterdam at a rally, and there were some of them that tried probably before we started to distract the entire afternoon's rally. But when the crowd came out later on, I noticed all of them disappear. They disappear. The thing is, you could see that, you could see emotionally, and psychologically, he has been so affected with the confidence that he got from some of them cross over Jagabat or jump across, that they're gonna give you the assurance that they're gonna make you feel happy. Some of them, so probably is so mentally and psychologically affected that monies that was used to give these people, they're gonna get away now and can't go enjoy themselves with the money. They must make a good deal. And so then he might receive an never hear from them no more. God, either they're gonna go do something, they must don't spend all the money. And so they ain't got no money to walk with again. If you want help again, not do that, you're gonna make me frighten this man. They can't mean drink nothing yet. That is frightening face. I tell you, there's some people in this world, when you look at them alone, you can know that, disaster gonna follow. I'm sorry for this. I feel pity on him. I'm a man of God. And, I am taught that we should love people. And I am taught that we should love all kinds of people. But I'm also taught that we should hate the things that they do that is not good for the benefit of people. When you look at this, you feel pity for him, you feel sorry for him. Because he's so confused. I hope he get a good areas. Because he can run away for another press conference. Because
again, I don't feel pity for him at all. He's getting some of what he deserves. He deserves more than this, and it's an embarrassment. I know it's an embarrassment. Take a look at how he got up and twist away. Take a look. We've never seen, look at this guy. And some people think that, oh, he's a Machiavellian, he's this, he's good at politics, he's a crass, he's not a good politician. Some people, and it gets me vexed when I see some people trying to rate him next to Forbes Burnham. Oh, he get quality like Forbes. What about this guy that has any quality of a Forbes Burnham? What about this guy? I don't pity him, Pastor, with all due respect. He's getting what he deserves, and he deserves even more.
Forbes don't go walk away from press conference. Forbes turned the press conference into his press conference and started to question you. He just turned the whole thing. Forbes don't turn from nothing. And when Forbes use word, then people who ask you things, let them better record it and go look encyclopedia and dictionary. Because they might not know nothing we tell them. So you can't class them people today with Forbes because the man met Forbes. The book what they call, Forbes. They have to ensure that they maintain the name because of this same Forbes Burnham, Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham.
Anil and Crawford and Caesar, I know this morning is your show. We are just sitting by because we were looking for you last night. We spoke for about 6.5 hours. We were looking for you last night. But in New Amsterdam, I want Irfan and them and Jack there to do the dance and the song. They go in New Amsterdam, then dance up. They go in Linden and they dance up. But the people getting the last laugh now. This is what the people in all those townships, this is what the people are saying to them.
They told him, don't you ever come around here. Don't want to see your face, you better disappear. The fire's in their eyes, their words are really clear, so beat it.
That's what the people said to them. Beat it. And Jack Dave, they're embarrassed. Let me just take time to acknowledge our listeners, the viewers around Guyana, around the world. I notice Otto Martin with us as well. and I specifically single him out for now to give him his props. Otto relentlessly, every morning, whether Otto is at work or wherever, he goes live. Of course, he gives us a little humor, as we all do. We deserve that. But Otto was relentless also in his campaign during this local government elections. Thank you so much, Otto, for what you have done and what you continue to do. Now, JR, let's bring you in this. I've noticed we've lost Caesar. Jack Dale, not being himself, being confused, being ashamed of the licking, the beating that they got.
Mark, one, I am a person who believes in the unseen, and it was only a matter of time before we had a divine intervention to stop the tyrants in their track. It always happens throughout history, and for whatever it's worth, Jagdeo will never have the answer to yesterday's drubbing. And the reason why he can't understand what happened yesterday is if you're not a God-fearing person, you will not understand how chain of events occur. You will run around for a period of time and then eventually something shows up, a minute thing, and it stops you in your track. And that's what happened yesterday to all of the people. And it goes to show you that no matter how much money you put your hands upon, somewhere along the line, the money becomes worthless. And that is what happened yesterday, where integrity trumped the dollar sign. And I must say, I do respect the people that stayed home from voting for the PPP. My hats off to them for helping to make sure that democracy stays alive in this country and we don't get railroaded into that one Guyana crap, which is a communist-based ideology. What Jagdeo felt last night, he probably was sorry that he actually went to have a press conference. If you look at his demeanor, that powerful persona that he normally shows, it wasn't there. It was, a fighter who boasts so much of gonna be knocking out the champion gets knocked out very early. The facial expression shows a dejected person, an irate person. So, it is the hand of God that have helped the people to deliver that punch to the PPP, and they deserve it. They've been evil-minded. They've been very oppressive. They're very vindictive. They need to start to respect other people's political affiliation, other people's ethnicity. And if you're in government, do right for the people across the board. Do not do it on a favoritism business or a buddy system business. This is the downfall. This is what you're going to face when you go up against God-fearing people.
All right, well said, J.R. Crawford there. Describe the voters turnout there in Corriverton for us, please, Anil.
It was very low, it was low. Probably the total turnout, I would say, was about just over 20% of the voters that came out. So it was very, very low. Places like Line Part and so, of course, which the PPP always has their base at, where they normally would have hundreds upon hundreds of people, probably in the thousands, coming out voting. It's just a few hundreds probably that came out and vote. And many of those people were people that were brought on there. Plenty was aged people, some were on wheelchair, some had to be carried up stairs, some had to be carried into the polling place, and all of that. And there are more of the aged East Indian people. In the 78th village and so forth was the same case. Most of them were the more aged East Indian people. And some of them were close friends and associates to some of those that are running for office. But apart from that, you know, the voter turnout was poor. Curveton was like a ghost city. You know, the road was calm. The traffic was very, very slow flowing. People were indoors. You could have not been noticed people around. You know, you think like it was a day of mourning. You know, I haven't seen Curveton like that for a long time. And some people said, oh, they thought today was a national holiday, that even Good Friday not just be so quiet. And so the place, I am telling you, the place was real quiet. The people that was doing the most running around was the PPP. They were the people that were very busy around Curveton, you know, all over the place and so on. They were very busy. They had tents and so on set up all about it there by themselves so long. And nobody even pay attention that they had a tent there. People walk the way straight. If they go to the polling place, walk the way straight, come back. They got to call somebody before they might stop or so on. And so that was the situation. To late in the night last night, after the polls were closed, and when when we were out on the road, and then I think I went to, we closed the container probably about 11 last night at GCOM. Around that time, and the rain was falling, I want to know what happened. The pace in the road picked up. People that stay home all day, park up the vehicle, and had nothing to what going on. But then them come out. The whole road get busy. I said, well, what really going on here? That's showing you that they have lost. That's showing you that they have lost. Because people had no interest whatsoever in the day process. And many of the doors that they went to, many of the people that they're calling, people lock up in the house without responding. It wasn't like that in the past. You know, in the past, when they come to a house and they call and they tell people to come out, they would. But it was very strange yesterday that people did not, you know, they did not hinge to what they were doing. People were in home. They paid no attention to what was going on. They did not respond to calls on phone. They did not respond to call on the gate or and so on. They did not respond to the honking of the horn in front of the house. And so they had to be going around their business with very poor turnout, you know, very poor turnout.
And that's certainly a message to the PPP. Even their own support base have neglected them, haven't turned out. Mr. Crawford, this is not a surprise at all hearing this.
No. We had the same thing here in our area. The turnout was very low. And also, a couple of folks called me and saying, like, places like Rosal was like a Wednesday afternoon where there was nothing going on, nothing. And like I said, I have to show respect to the people who stayed away because they want to make a statement. We want a unified country under the right circumstances, not for one set of people because of party affiliation must benefit from the resources of this country. People are starting to look at the sufferment of their neighbors, and they, you know, we are built that way that we must have compassion. But some of us try our utmost to be very vindictive. And it's a human nature to have compassion for your fellow citizen. And if we didn't see a miracle in our lifetime, we saw one yesterday. And, you know, I am very happy of the end results. And I do hope that the PNC folks capitalize on this and go out and embrace the others who do not support the party so we can afford to grow our party base and be a much more inclusive and democratic party than the PPP.
You know, this is an embarrassment. Thank you, Crawford. Well said. This is an embarrassment to Jack Dale, to Irfan Ali, the PPPC. It's an embarrassment. Anil, what is your take? What might be going through their minds right now? Jack Dale in particular, we could see this disappointment in his face, on his face.
You know, I know they're worried. And they're probably rightfully should be so, because they would have made promises to to lots of people that they won't be able to deliver now. You know, they would have made promises to people that they won't be able to deliver now. In areas like Linden and New Amsterdam and Georgetown and so forth, they would have planned to deliver to friends and cronies, of which they can't any longer do because they would have lost those townships. And so it tells you that there is something for them to be bothered about at this time. So that's a trouble by itself for them to deal with. Outside of that, you know, the ordinary man, the many ordinary people that did not go out and vote for them, that they expected to, will also be very worrisome for them. And you know, there are a lot of people that would get butted today for not being able to deliver on what they probably would have promised, and of the expectation of deliverance, what they would have hold on to. And that of itself will tell us that there will be some struggling times between them, because there'll be a lot of discontent and disagreement, and there are people that might rise up and challenge the leadership, and that would be a good thing.
Rise up and challenge the leadership
of the PPP.
Of the PPP. The people have spoken. They said no to soup drinkers. They stood up against the soup drinkers. They stood up against the grasshoppers. They stood up against the natty fake dreads. They stood up against them. Even as the PPP spent hundreds of millions of taxpayers' monies. I know you did say, Mr. Sugrim, that if the PPP had taken the time out to spend that money on the people in communities, Guyana would have been a better place today. But no.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Look at how the people in Agricola. Congrats to the people in Agricola.
Agricola is nothing. Agricola never sale. Agricola never sale. Yeah.
Have you been able to see this woman there in Corriverton? If you do, let us know.
Think about not eating chicken curry. Think about the police gotta come and you gotta hide your curry. You don't want those days back. We are voting for the PPP to secure our future and our children.
Corriverton, yeah, Corrie today. You see Corrie in Corriverton?
I see down Corrie. I gotta put her in a car, Corrie, and invite you.
You got to do just that.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking, and lots of people around around Guyana and around the world are looking. They're watching at us. They're very happy. Those who are disappointed are not brave enough to come on and cuss me out. I know some want to cuss out, but I agree with Crawford. There are lots of, I repeat, lots of PPP supporters who are disgruntled with the PPP. They are fed up with the PPP, and therefore there must be an attractive package from the coalition to bring these folks over. And I'm not certain that AFC can do that trick. Crawford?
Mark, when you look back when the PPP were installed in August of 2020, and you look at the chain of events, and I'm sure Pastor Sugrim would agree with me on this. We were seeing a trail of blood on a weekly basis in this country, as if we were living in a land of cursed. And, you know, we can only go so far before things turn around. And how long could the PPP be fooling the people, thinking that they're not intelligent enough to understand, you know, how bad it is for them to be the leaders of this community? Now we've seen they're taking a licks in the polls. Once we put together a proper ground team, we are going to destroy them in the general election. And I know that the election would not be in 2025, it'll be in 2024. Because there's no way that we have an election petition sitting there and you run a full term. That there is a total disrespect to the people of this country who supported the coalition. We must turn the heat up on the PPP. We must be able to stop the bleeding of this country's resource and make sure that the citizens, young or old or unborn, will benefit from what our foreparents slaved for in this country. We cannot allow the selective few to be milking this country. And we are going to see some very, very drastic measures on some of the folks who have become overnight multi-millionaires and billionaires in this country. They are going to sit on the side of the road with nothing. There is a strategy for it. They will have to return every single dime that they stole.
Pastor Sugrim, again, the people are happy across the country. Thousands of PPP supporters are happy about this. This is a message they wanted to send to Jack Dale and Air Finale to say no, they're not happy with how the country is going. They're just not satisfied at all. And I take this time out again to once again congratulate those PPP supporters who stayed home in their numbers. And I want to single out, at least publicly, this woman.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata, Francis C. Vietnam. And since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my ex next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
Anti-data spoke. Anil, anti-data spoke for thousands of PPP supporters who are not so brave to speak out. She switched, and I'm sure she didn't vote for the PPP. I put my head on the block that she didn't vote for PPP, and thousands have stayed home. You did mention that in areas predominantly PPP support based in Corriverton, lots of people stayed home. Maybe 80% of the people stayed home. That
Pastor Sugrim.
Yeah.
Pastor Sugrim.
Yeah, I can hear you.
How are they looking up there in the number 55 area and number 63 area? Those loudmouth people who are cursing out people on the internet last week and the week before. How are they faring now?
Well, they got the upper hand over 53. I think Borgett probably would have won that constituency, but it's because of the changing in the boundaries of the constituency. You know, because when they redo the boundaries, you know, they strategize and ensure that they bring in parts of their stronghold into the constituency so that they do the mathematics that would help them to gain the seats. But in 53 of itself, for instance, the PPP would have lost. I don't have the number right with me there. I would be having the SOPs later on in the day. I did not get. I was to go to it pick it up this morning. I will get it later on today. But I know we would have won 53, but they would have taken the constituency because of the boundary lines.
Interesting. 153, but they have taken the constituency because of that boundary line out there. We are seeing that there's a DJ Scalo who says that he's from number 53 village. Good morning. Good morning to all the folks there. I know, Pastor Sugrim, you have a heck of a lot of things you have to do. I've just invited you for a few minutes. I don't want to take you on that long stretch, you know, like you're running around on this racetrack, like what we did 6.5 furlongs last night, 6+ hours last evening.
It would have been nice. It would have been nice to join you live from somewhere yesterday, but if we would have made that arrangement, probably we could have joined you live. Seeing some of them running around like racehorse around the tongue, trying to get people out.
You could have taken some short video clip. I said, look, them run there, right? Them run there indeed. Pastor Sugrim, I know you do have to go, and so what is your message before you go to our listeners who are happy but they're still waiting on this final disclosure? And disclosure can come from only G.
I'm very thankful to our support base. I'm thankful to know that people stood tall with us, and there are people that I can be assured of that would not go anywhere. And sometimes we can be too judgmental on some people because of the pressure they might be under, because of the victimization that they may encounter. But we can count on them for their vote on the day of election. And there are strong people like that. I know some of them personally. You may not see them with you and to be a part of all the things that you do, but you can count on them to vote for you on the day of election. I want to thank some of my friends and associates, especially some of the East Indians in the Upper Quarantine area that would have stood high and tall with us. They don't want their names to be mentioned. They don't want to be victimized by the private sector, people them, and so. And they voted. And of course, they were of moral support throughout the process. And I want to say thanks to them. And I want us to transform our approach and collective effort for this 2023 local government election into the national election that we look forward for to win the government.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We congratulate you and your colleague. Hopefully this time around we'll be able to see your colleague. We're not seeing your colleague. We hear from your colleague. What's happening?
Yeah, you know, he is busy. The guy that was with me hasn't run with us this time, so it would be another guy. So I hope I'm able to get him on sometime after all of this is done, so that he can say a few things.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have him on to say a few things as well. What are two of your big plans, immediate plans, as you prepare to get back there for another term? What are two of your big plans for Corriverton?
What my first, objective, I would like to see a equal and square treatment of people across all the constituency, in the sense of subvention being spent, capital works being done, garbage collection. It must be done across the tongue at the same level. That has not been happening ever under the PPC council position. Subvention money only spends in their area. Special priorities are given in people in their area. Special priority is given to people that break all the bylaws in terms of construction, occupancy, occupancy of reserve and all of that. And when any other body do it, it becomes illegal. And I want to see that every person, every family, whether you would have supported us or you did not support us, whether you would have voted or you didn't vote, I like to see people be treated evenly across the town. I like to see taxpayers' money be spent equally across the towns. I like to see resources being used evenly across the towns. Not to develop a ground like Line Part ground, put on floodlight, send a fancy grass cutter, make nice concrete seat, put in internet hub, make nice pavilion, but where people live way back at 76 in a village, and where people live down at Scottsburg, the ground are taken up with overgrown bushes, overgrown trees, no light, no proper, nothing to slash the ground. The town council want $5,000 just to put on a slash and go in the ground. And if you slash the ground, you got to pay $15,000. But you can go down to Line Part ground and slash it for free. You can go down there and send people to cut the thing for free. You know, these are some of the things that need to be straightened out. These are some of the things to be straightened out. You know, if you go a little bit out of Curvaton and coming back and I'm going to jump the gun hill, even though I got to go, if you go down to 51, you get Leach Primary School. You go behind Leach Primary School, there was a big ground here. That ground was well kept by the coalition government, well fenced and so on. Since the PPP took government, you know, the school get no access to the ground. They get big bush way over the fence. The whole place is like a little jungle. You gotta you know, when you got to do farming, they say you gotta underbush the thing. You gotta carry bulldozer and chainsaw and excavator just to clean a ground that should be used by residents. And that is just behind the Leach Primary School in 51 Village. You know? So when we talking about Wangayana and when we talking about, you know, we want to get everybody being treated, that's not happening in this country. That's not happening in Region 6 that they said, you know, is the stronghold. That is not happening in Curvaton that they say is a stronghold. And another thing that I would like to see is that there are some new housing schemes that be developed. I want to see that they get burial ground in these housing schemes. People live way down and deep in some of these areas, but the burial ground in Curvaton, most of them is on the roadside. And you get developing housing schemes back. You must be able to designate areas for their housing schemes to have burial grounds. I would like to see in those housing schemes that they're having like 75 and 76 and 77, 76 phase 1 and 2, and they're saying they're developing phase 3, and 77 they want to develop phase 3. They must have their own water system, because of all of these new communities that they're saying they're sharing land. The water system is the same one that they keep connecting to. And because of that, we don't get water. You know, in order for me to get water, I got to source water up into overhead tanks. And then I got to use that water to come back into my house. To do anything, you can't get water from the main line. And it's happening all over the place. It's because, you know, you need more water pump station. You need more. You can't be developing communities, say sharing out the house land, you're not putting a water system in place. You run a water line, but there is no water pump and water system there in place. You know, that need to be done, so that you could be able to have a better source of water. You know, that need to be done. And so those are some of the things that I would like to see be done in Curvaton. You know, you can't be putting up a few fire hydrant, but the line don't get no water. That doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense at all. You need to be having special lines for fire hydrant, not the very regular line that residents use. Because they're supposed to be having special lines for fire hydrant that it can be operable 24/7 with good water pressure. You know, these are some of the things that I would like to see happen. I would like to see happen when you talk about 2 things, I talk about 4 things or 5 things already. Don't make roads without making the drains. Don't make roads without making the drains. You want to make a road, you want to make a street, ensure you make the 2 corner drains, then cap the road to the drain. Don't make road and you don't make the drain. You're flooding out people. Them kind of flood that we're experiencing now in Corverton, we never used to get them. But them Jagabat road where they make a flood people place. You know, you need better infrastructural work. Don't show that you can do 1,000 things and you can't do it. Don't go to Scottsburg and cut the people road for make it from 16 feet to 12 feet and from 12 feet to 8 feet. Don't do that kind of thing. You know, if we are infrastructurally developing this town, we get an 8 feet road, we must make it into 12 feet, JR. If we get a 12 feet road, we must make it into a 16 feet road. We get a 16 feet road, we must make it into a 20 feet road. That is development. You don't take a 12 feet road and you make it into 8 feet, and you're telling me that is development. What are you telling me, man? These are the kind of things I would like to see. You know?
They're not sensible. I don't understand how they would operate and think that what they're doing, they're calling it progress. They're not, they're backwards. And you see, Mr. Sugrim, a lot of these people are mentally challenged people. You know. The contractors, they can't even write their names. You know, look at the building that they built back to the front, right? The medical building.
Yeah.
You know, as a contractor, you know that the front of the building has to face the road. How is it that it end up at the back of facing the cane fields? You see what I'm saying? It's because of the corruption. Any idiot will become a contractor and they will squander the taxpayers' money because no one has to answer for it. These behaviors have to be challenged and this system must change.
You know, there are some good public servants. There are some good engineers. And I can tell both of you that. I can tell that, Mark. But the engineers, they are not allowed to do their job because of the subject minister at times and the subject permanent secretary. The story of that building were flagged by the engineer, but the engineer was flagged by the minister. Right? Because the contractor were told that he did not know to read the print. The contractor was told that is a wrong way he's designing the building because that is not how it was designed and printed. But them guys from the region, Zamal and them guys, and then the minister them say, it's all right there. Tell the engineer you left the man. You just let the man build the thing there. The man got you let the build the thing there, man. You let the man build the thing there, yeah, right. Right? And that's the case with some of these roads. I know some of these engineers would write the contractor. You know, it's alleged you got the man, on a road making road. And it's alleged that Anne Road is the biggest champion building road in this region. And he's still getting 10, 12, 15, 20 road for bill. And he get 20 road ahead and one not complete at the start. And when the engineer flag it, the engineer has been flagged by the minister. You know, and he continued to get road. Right? Yes. So there are some good public servants, there are some good engineers. But many times people blame the engineers, but I can personally tell you it's not the engineers at all the time. The engineers do what they gotta do and how they're supposed to do it. But it's a man that's above the engineer in the political office that call the shots and not the engineer himself. And that is why we end up with that building like that. You know, it was flagged, but I'm saying no, left like bill. But when the thing gone up there now, if fine man meaning that he couldn't come out, I tell you he couldn't get away. But he couldn't get away. And that is what they're building for people to work inside. It's unbelievable. what is happening in this country. But yet on the upper quarantine, some of the PPP supporters say, oh yes, it's a nice building. Oh yes, it look good. Oh yes, we get development. Oh yes. And they ain't got a clue as to what's really happening there. You put the toilet and the toilet window and everything and so on, the washroom face the public road. Everything.
We need a proper video evidence of these sort of things in Corriverton, and I know that as the elected official there in Corriverton, soon they will the people in Corriverton will elect you as the mayor. The people, we are chipping away at that support base of the PPPC. The PPPC supporters, majority of them are upset. It so happened that not a lot of them are brave enough to come and talk about how upset they are. But again, I want to thank you, gentlemen, for your contribution. This is a grassroots effort, and we see that it paid off big time. It paid off. Anil, thank you so much for what you have done. Thank you so much for what you continue to do for the people of Corriverton, and by extension, the patriotic spirit in you. We see that every single day. We salute you, sir, and we thank you for your bravery. I know there are lots of other Anils around the country, the good Anils, a lot of the good Anils around the country. Thank you so much, and give my regards to your family, give my regards especially to your wife, and thanking you guys for your service there in Corriverton. Thank you, Anil.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Crawford also, we thank you so much. The people were just looking and waiting for us to just come on and to say something. We are waiting on GCOM to come to a closure, a complete closure of this local government elections, and not to be hijacked by one man, one demonic individual by the name of Barrett Jackdale. It has got to stop. Very briefly, your closing remarks, Mr. Crawford.
Mark, like I said last night, and I'll keep saying it, I am very happy of what we've been able to accomplish. And this is just a stepping stone. We must be able to continue this. And we should not be taking any holidays from what has started here. We should be going out there, speaking to people, get their thought process, what it is, and work with the people, work to get new membership. And our foot soldiers must not be afraid to venture into territories that are labeled red. We are here to represent all of Guyana, regardless if you support us or not. We have to take the high road. We have to be the ones with the integrity, the intelligence, the care, and the concern as to where our country goes in the next year or two coming up. With our little resources in the oil field, we have to push for more agricultural programs. We have to push to become a more independent agricultural supplier. And we have the opportunity, we have the lands, we have the manpower. We just need to initiate these steps so we can be, able to feed our nation and help others who need, food supply. With that said, I will wait on the next segment of this program for the official results. And I do hope we don't have to become aggressive towards any jiggery-pokery that the PPP or GCOM may try to pull over our eyes.
All right, well said. We were able to get in touch with Barbara Pilgrim. A lot of them seem to be echoing the same sort of emotion as Jack Deo and Irfan and them. And this is what Barbara had to say at that time when we called her about the elections.
Sir, I want you. You get mad? Mad. Shut.
So there's no prayers for Barbara Pilgrim. She got what she deserved. all of them in New Amsterdam got exactly what they deserve. Uh, Not sure why Jack Deere wants a recount. They shouldn't be a recount. The election should be certified, and if Jack Deere they have a problem, if Jack Deere they have a problem with the outcome of the local government elections, let them let them file an elections petition. That is all. Let them file an elections petition, and I also want Jack Deere and his band of election riggers. Let them show their SOPs. We want to see their SOPs from the 2020 general and regional elections, and we're now calling for the SOPs, the PPP's SOPs for the local government elections. Where are those SOPs? Where are your SOPs, Jack Deere? We need to see the SOPs. Crawford, you're laughing. You see how life is. You see how this thing swing around. I don't. No
I
pun
know.
intended.
That's what I'm saying. They were beating Norton about his SOPs and Harmon, and look what happened. They are the ones who are running with the same rhetoric. It goes to show you, as they say, a man with seed must not laugh a goody man.
Oops. Oops. Just to say
No,
that now.
no. Look
Yeah.
at them. They were cursing us 3 years ago,
No, no, I got your point. A
and
man
look,
without
and they're
seed does
coming
not
up with
laugh
the
a
same
man.
with the same things. Now trying to get sympathy. No, you get licks. Take your licks and go along your way.
Show your SOPs. That's all. Stand up and take your licks like a however you want to take it, Jack Deere. Take your licks like a however you want to take it. Thank you so much, Mr. Crawford. As
All
soon
right.
as we get
Good.
more
Good day,
information,
everybody.
thank you, sir. As soon as we get some more information, we will stay on top of the situation. We will continue to expose these trench crappos. Just imagine the other day at a press conference, someone looking like this was actually talking about how Aubrey Norton looks. This is how these elections have actually turned into. Uh, you have people who call themselves leaders laughing at how other people look. And he's not a looker. Certainly nowhere close, mind you. He's not a good-looking guy, but he is laughing at Aubrey Norton. He is he is laughing at Aubrey Norton. How Aubrey Norton looks. I don't know, but Aubrey Norton is smiling right now. Is smiling right now because guess what? Sorry, we're getting some messages coming in from our uh, sources at GCOM. Is saying that they are hoping to finalize everything, but the PPP they're putting up a strong objection. Uh, they PPP, my understanding, they got some fake SOPs, and their fake SOPs were not allowed, were not given that opportunity. Some mix up went on. And so they couldn't do the jiggery pokery that they wanted to do in New Amsterdam, Linden, Georgetown, or wherever. And so they're leaning now on New Amsterdam, thinking that they could corrupt the process. That is why Jack Deere, his keywords were at that press conference, just to recount couple boxes. Hey, sometimes, guys, that is all it takes. Couple boxes. Just his words, just to count couple boxes. A couple of boxes so that they could stuff it as quickly as possible. Because they are experts at stuffing things, stuffing ballot boxes. They are experts at that. But I want you and these guys in the PPP, I want them to show their SOPs. Show us your SOPs. Where are your SOPs? They can't. They just cannot. And for this, it's not a nice day for them at all. If you call them right now, Jack Day has a press conference coming up at sometime today. We will debunk it. Those lies. But But this is how they're behaving right now at Freedom House.
Sir, I want you. You get mad?
Basically, intention was basically to steal people. The stealing, sorry about that. That is what these folks are wanted to take control of the people, went out and they said, that's enough. Enough is enough. And this was a grassroots. While we're not going to get there as yet, the people who should be getting the credit, not leadership of anywhere, but grassroots people need to get this credit of the victory. Some people are going to come with little slide messages that they were behind the scene and they operated and they guided this. That is not so. That is not so. The grassroots people. And to the leadership of the coalition, the leadership of the PNC, get your act together. This victory is not as a result of the leadership of the PNC or the coalition. It is as a result of the grassroots people who have come to the realization that they have had to go out there and do something. And all of you on social media who made this a reality, I salute you guys. And the MPs, the few MPs who went out and they worked even at the last minute to get things done, I salute and I thank them as well. But all of the credit, majority of the credit, goes to the grassroots people. While there were some in the leadership bracket who gave up, they put their hands up, they gave up. But it was the people who said, no, we are not giving up. It was the people who said that they are going to go out and make this thing happen. So I don't want anybody to come and tell me, but this is some kind of clever political strategy on the part of the leadership, the collective leadership. It wasn't a strategy. It was desperation on the part of the people. And the people fought back against the PPP. They fought back against those who were given hundreds of millions of dollars to contaminate people's communities and so forth. So I don't want anybody to come and tell me, but there was some sort of clever plan and that this clever plan worked. There wasn't no clever plan. Don't be fooled. Somebody's asking about the joint service vote. I'm not sure about that. They tried to rig that, Ms. Drucker, so we've got to pay careful attention to that. But again, congratulations to grassroots people who made this happen, who made it happen. Don't tell me about strategy and political strategy and leader had strategy and who had strategy. There was none. The people did this again. If you see that we come on live again, know that there's some good news that we want to bring to you. But to all those who at GCOM and so forth who stood up against that tyrant Barra Jack there, I say kudos to all of you. It's not over yet, guys. It's not over yet. It's good to celebrate a little, but don't fall asleep while celebrating. Don't fall asleep. There's still much work to be done. We still have a lot of work that needs to be done, and we cannot surrender. Hopefully the leadership will get its act together, and this should be a wake-up call for them. This is a grassroots effort and a grassroots victory. God bless you all. See you hopefully soon.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata, Francis C. Wakenham, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
Right across Ghana, when the ministers of Granger or Nagamutu come here after the 21st of March, you say to them, walk behind them, chase them out, they're going to be illegal. Say to them, you're illegal. Free up the country, you're undemocratic.
Mr. Mark, I believe every word of what Mr. Shu is saying. I am also afraid of Mr. Shu. Mr. Shu, if you are listening, I don't want anybody to harm you. This is a serious thing. Corruption is big. And we Chinese have to stop that. Been bullied by Jack Dale and other government official to pay bribe. It's big all over Guyana. A Chinese to pay by bribe. Mr. Shu, I hope you to stay strong. Do not. We respect and salute you for your bravery, for coming up and speak against corruption in Guyana. Thank you, Mr. Shu. We appreciate you, Mr. Mark. 马克，我相信每一句苏先生说的话。我现在很担心苏先生。苏先生，如果你在听我说话，我不想任何人威胁你。圭亚那政府腐败很严重，这个是很严重的事情。我们中国人必须停止被那些政府用武力行贿。苏先生，我希望你能继续你的发表，也希望你在新的一年万事如意。
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
Yeah, this is the elite team.
The root team.
Strong team.
Number one.
PPP team.
Yeah.
You understand? PPP all the way.
Yeah, one Guyana.
Yes.
Holding the fort for Monday morning.
In any weather, rain, sun,
we are
in the
here.
night. We there right here. We ain't going nowhere. We holding it.
Yeah, this is the elite team.
The root team.
Strong team.
Number one.
PPP team.
Yeah.
You understand? PPP all the way.
Yeah, one Guyana.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the elite team.
The root team.
Strong team.
Number one.
PPP team.
Yeah.
You understand? PPP all the way.
Yeah, one Guyana.
Yes.
Holding the fort for Monday morning.
In any weather, rain, sun,
we are
in
here.
the night. We there right here. We ain't going nowhere. We holding it for PPP.
Right.
Yeah, this is the elite team.
The root team.
Strong
The
team.
number one.
PPP team.
Yeah.
You understand? PPP all the way.
Yeah, one Guyana.
Yes.
Go in the fort for Monday morning.
In any weather, rain, sun,
We are
in the
here.
night.
Sir, I want you. You get mad?
Mad. Shut. What the fuck? Yeah. Lord. Lord, we can't take it no more. Give me money, woman, you give me before. Lord, can't.
Sir, I want you. You get mad?
Mad. Shut. What the fuck? Yeah. Lord.
Sir, I want you. You get mad?
Mad. Shut. What the fuck? Yeah. Lord. Lord, we can't take it no more. Give me money, woman, you give me before. Lord, can't take it.
Sir, I want you. You get mad?
Mad. Shut. What the fuck? Yeah. Lord. Lord, we can't take it no more. Give me money, woman, you give me before.